Ooh. Ah. Hello. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Hey guys. This is gonna be a VOD review today. The game we are playing. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a couple days since I played this, so I don't remember. So everything's gonna be kind of like a first impression. But recently, these games aren't like a Diamond 2, Diamond 1. I wanted to go over them because now that I've hit Masters, I want to see like the types of mistakes I've been making, and I sort of want to help not only myself, like, you know, learn about how to improve some bad habits or to, learn new things that you can sort of like do to simplify your game, but also I just want to like be able to help. I want to share my learning process and my decision making. So, other people who are um, emerald, platinum, below, and sort of like apply this in their games. Because usually the thing with like video guides and stuff, like when the really like some of the top tier, most best players explain their own thought process, it's very easy to sort of like skip the minutia and just sort of shortcut to the very end. Yeah. So I'm trying to sort of be a like an intermediate, a bridge between the two, sort of like the beginner to intermediates and the advanced to like the top players, the pros. Because I think I can be a fairly good I'm a fairly good learner. That's at least what I believe. But whether I have evidence for it or not, well, I made it to Masters, so there has to be some sort of evidence. Anyways, last shop we had a disco headliner, Tarek. Disco is really strong this patch. It's usually always contested by at least one or two people each lobby, so it's kind of hard to consistently play it when it comes to stage 4 too. Our items are belt, bow, and glove. So it could be an Ashes Tooth, a Guard Breaker, or a Last Whisper. Probably the first two, the AP items, because AD is a little more. It's usually reserved for like these AD melee carries like Riven and Yone 3-star, or Zed and Viego. Excuse me. Damn. What did we get for our first augment? Oh, go ahead. There you go. Yeah, so we'll be looking towards some sort of like AP game from here. Okay, so we immediately rerolled Live for Danger. The other two we have are Stationary Support and Scrappy Inventions. Scrappy Inventions is really good for sort of tempoing the early game, as well as playing your strongest board and saving HP. Plus you keep items open for deciding whether or not you want to go for the best items for either Twisted Fate or maybe Karthus and Akali. And then Stationary Support, it's the generally good augment. You get a little bit more frontline and you get some like benefits with your support item. Personally, I've had some difficulty trying to find out the best positioning with Stationary Support with certain support items. So still working on that. Okay, we get Cluttered Mine on the left. Cluttered Mine is really good for leveling in the early game to level 7, level 8. Because you get 3 XP every turn if you keep your board full. I mean your bench full. And over the course of 2 stages, about I think 6 combat stages per like stage 2 is 6 combat stages, stage 3 is 6 combat stages. I think it's 5 player combats though, so you're gaining equivalent of like 15 gold in XP stage 2, 15 gold in XP stage 3, and then you probably drop out of value when you try and go in level 8. You have to like clear some space to hold on to units, which is a-okay. Okay, still deciding. Gifts of the Fallen on the right. It's I prefer late game more than early game. We get Randuin's Randuin's Omen. Okay, I'm deciding whether or not I want to level up here. I think, in hindsight, I should sell the Twitch and throw in just like an extra frontliner, like this Tarek one or even this Lilia one. I think Tarek's probably the stronger one here. Let's see what I do. I'm trying to figure out where to put this dummy to maximize the value. But, I was watching this like Chinese VOD, and just the hex to the right of Tarek is a perfect place where you can put this Randuin Omen training dummy, and then for the tanky units that you don't really need getting this disco value, you can put it on the right. So this will allow you to get 4 frontliners to get that bonus armor and MR. Super helpful, and that'll simplify things. Okay. Also think about items to slam here. Nashers is a really safe choice. Okay, so my first should have definitely leveled up here instead of holding the 2 Twitches, because I'm a little bit hesitant of like playing disco here. I also don't slam any items because I wasn't sure whether or not I was playing a disco line from here, or if I was just going to use these as a, you know, just a strong opener and maybe play into something different. Yeah. Stationary support really. Oh, I'm gonna be getting one shot with the Infinity Edge Cassante. Kind of spicy. I love to see it. Yeah. Okay. Next round. Go ahead and speed it up here. 1.5. Scouting around just to see how like contested disco was, because like a couple days ago, I'm still not that comfortable playing disco, simply because I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't hit on stage 4-2. But yeah, we'll see what Pass Me does when we get there, because I'll keep it towards the end. This is one of those games that you learn that you learn from, for sure. So if you're looking for some banger gameplay, maybe next VOD review. That's all I'll say. Okay, that placement right there. Oh no, bring it back, brother. Whereas on the hex directly right of Tarek was one of the best like stationary support placements that you can do. Maximizes your value from the Randuin's Omen. 16 gold, weird position. Can't really make 20, so I just decided to put in the extra Nami. Okay. I'm eyeballing this Lux with the whatchamacallit, a rod, because I think I was 100% angling towards making a Marilla Namakan with that. I get the tier for the mana generation component, looking for Shojin. Blue buff is also fine. Adaptive helm is also very fine. From our loot subscription, we get that Urgot, which is 3 extra gold. Spicy. Ooh, we decide to make 30 here, which I think is pretty cool. You know. Oh, there you go. I have the positioning there. That's the awesome positioning. And I'm also gonna be able to make this Lilia too by buying this last one off the shop, because I should be winning this fight for sure. Still no item slammed. kind of greedy, but uh, given like I guess this is what happens in Diamond is I feel like people still get pretty one-tracked, like single track minded into the types of comps they want to play, which I think is totally fine. It's just the natural thing to do when such a, like a set has so much depth and complexity to it. You want to sort of stick to your like your comfort zone. And for people who have a lot of experience and a lot of comfortability playing different lines, this is like sort of a benefit, an advantage for them, because you can simply, if you have a lot of awareness, enough awareness to see the tendencies of the lobby, you can pick a direction early, and you probably, for the most part, you're gonna be uncontested, or at least only one way contested. And usually you'll have better spots because you'll pick your spot based on your items in your opener. Okay, we get dropped a rod. Cool, another glove. Not the happiest to see that. But we're thinking about making a steadfast heart. And then as for the AP item, the archangels. Oops, sorry. The archangels and Nashor's Tooth. I'm thinking it'll also be JG and Nashor's Tooth. JG Gold Gauntlet doesn't look like it's the best item, but it depends on just like what you're given, right? If you want to be able to get rid of this rod, or sorry, this glove, that's what you'd go for. Also, I'm not sure if this was the game, but lately this I don't see this comp in particular getting played too much. But 6 Executioner, it's sort of similar to playing a like a Samira game, or just like a Twin Terror game, but you don't have the Twin Terror augments. If you angle for 6 Executioner and you reroll for a Mumu and Vex, it's also a very strong comp. You prioritize mainly damage items in that comp. You only single tank the Amumu with some really strong tank items, and then you just try to burst down the front line as fast as possible. It's a good spot to go for if you try going for a 3-cost reroll with like a crit item like IE, but you end up being contested in something like Country. Okay, augments for 3-2. You have my bow, Vampirism, and Cybernetic Uplink. Vampirism performs so well because it scales towards the late game once you start getting low, because usually in every game you are going to lose health and you're going to get extra health for your team. And the most important part is probably the Omni Vamp. Getting Omni Vamp from your augments as a combat augment is really strong, because the meta for this patch has a lot of chip damage, and it has just a lot of sustained fights and melee carries. So you want to have, if you have healing from your augments, then you have a slot open for a 3rd damage item, which can further amplify that Omni Vamp. So, you know, plus it gives some backline carries access to sort of healing, and they'll be able to live through like Karthus ults, Akali dashes, you know, that's sort of like a backline chip damage that usually would spell defeat for your team. You reroll, you have my bow, and we get Inspiring Epitaph, really strong combat augment. Gives your frontline just a whole bunch more tankiness overall. Ooh. Oh my gosh, we reroll Vampirism. We're looking at Cybernetic Uplink. I remember this game now vaguely. I was definitely going for Seraphine Reroll. We take Uplink, we steal out of the Tark, and I think we're looking to level and find a Seraphine headliner. think we find her fairly quickly. Think about whether or not we need that headliner, whether to dip below 40. Game. This stationary support placement, perfect. The target could be one space lower or even to the right of Echo. And I'm thinking about minimizing the Lulu for now. I think I was very dizzy from this spot. Because I knew in my head that I did not want to play disco because it was going to be three-way contested. And usually if you're three-way contested, it's sort of a gamble on whether or not you hit on stage 4-2. But I think that's one of the mistakes that happen when you're contested, is trying to all in on 4-2 without a backup plan, without a backup like headliner. Because I don't think the goal of stage 4-2 when you're playing a contested comp is to hit all your units. I think the goal is to stabilize on a 4-cost headliner and to sort of build back up your econ to be able to roll again on a later stage, a later round, once the other player who tried to hit their units has also died. Plus, you don't really have a lot of gold at level 8 when you first level up, right? Yeah. Just, trying to make decisions here. I look at this Vigo thinking about like sort of a Karthus Akali game. And I look around, and like I see that one super fan Gnar headliner. So it sort of like deters me. I guess another thing is sort of practicing my analysis of like whether or not certain comps are actually contested based on experience. Because for me, at least when I scout, I look at their items and I look at their current headliner and I look at the units they're holding on their bench. Not their bench, on their board. And then it sort of gives me an idea. Like for instance, this person probably will try to play disco on stage 4. This person, I think they're playing Bard Reroll. But it could also be like Karthus. This person is Riven. Yeah. Second pick, I'm looking at the tier for blue buff or the sword for Shojin. For Seraphine in particular, Shojin, I think just fits so nicely on her. Yeah, I try and fake out with going to the Zed. That's something that I do. It doesn't really work all the time. I think it griefs me more than it helps me, but I sort of like playing those mind games because usually other people also don't know what to get in particular, so they go for something that's they think that they can deny you with. Okay, we upgrade the Seraphine, we get a Dazzler Bard. Well, we decide Seraphine Headliner. We can play this for now. Okay, so now we're into KDA positioning. Now the stationary support isn't as strong, especially with these KDA hexes. I already had her in my team planner, so I was planning to play Seraphine from the start. Yeah, this headliner, we stabilized pretty well on it, and we're only 2 Seraphines away from hitting a Seraphine 3. Now the question is whether we keep on Seraphine as a Spellweaver, or we switch her out for a KDA trait. But we have 6 Spellweaver right now. I wouldn't be opposed to see a 7 Spellweaver game. I think it would lack tankiness for sure though. Yeah. Well, what's the only Spellweaver we're missing? We're missing Annie, or we're missing we're missing Annie, or we're missing Sona. Okay. I think from this spot, being one away. Oh, we decide to roll. Okay. Oh. Okay, never mind. I don't think that's the face. We had a Nico headliner, but she had super fan. I'm not sure if that counts for the headliner rule where you can't see 1 in 4 shops if you skip them. Executioner. There we go. And we get the Seraphine that we want. So now we can play towards 5 and 7 KDA. Now that we've hit her, I think I should be leveling here, even though it dips me to like 20 because that would spike me. Okay. These items that we are dropped, they look like 80 items, so I feel like we can put them onto a collie. Here I think this is a very close fight. I think getting a third item onto this Seraphine would be crucial for finishing our items. Okay, healing orbs, little buddies. We reroll little buddies. Thinking about the decision. If I was confident that we could play into Kali and Ari consistently, I would take little buddies because that would help them be our dual and triple carry pretty hard. At 9% attack speed, and especially the 75% health, or sorry, 75 health per 1 and 2 star or 1 and 2 cost. Oh my gosh, words. It adds up. Usually you have, okay, so you have Lilia, you have Kennen, we have Gragas on the board, we have Seraphine, so that's 4 already. 4 little buddies, so that'll give our 4 cost 300 HP and 36 attack speed. That's a lot of attack speed. That's as much as a red buff, basically. So I don't know. It can add up. It's like it's a equivalent of a Nash's Tooth active or passive proc automatically onto our Ari. That's the equivalent. But I'm looking for a combat augment here. I think I remember we take healing orbs. Or I think we're looking in fusion. Yeah. I think healing orbs would have been fine. More HP for our front line. But this infusion, I just wanted to test it. See how much mana it would generate for our Seraphine in the long run. Really thinking about these items, keeping them, I think it's just I think it's either Guardbreaker or Nash's Tooth. I think Nash's Tooth synergizes really well with Shojin. So I would say Nash's. Thinking about putting in 5 KDA. Like, is 5 KDA stronger than 5 Spellweaver? Oh. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. We are missing the super fan because we don't have Kennen. And we don't have Nico. So we get in the super fan for now. Complete that third item. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, still trying to cook with this Rando and Zoman the stationary support value. I think it's good to have. It's just better to have it in front, even if you're only buffing 2 units. You want it to die first. Okay, we're going up against a disco board who hit their disco chosen. Or their TF chosen. Maybe it's a Dazzler. Okay. Alright. Close fight, 2 unit loss. I think for that fight, if we positioned our Echo on the right side where the Lilia was with the training dummy, it might have clumped things better for us and Seraphine might have gotten more value. Okay. We pick up this belt because we have an open belt on our Echo. So we say, freak it. Let's complete that belt and let's make a Warmogs. Okay. Now the question here is, do you stay on 7 to find this Nico? Do you roll above 50 or do you decide to go straight to level 8 and start rolling at level 8 for increased odds at Ari, Akali, even a random like Alawi? And the question is, or rather the answer, from here at least, I think we'd have to, we're at 60 HP, so we can, if we lose a couple, it's not the end of the world, but I feel like, okay, this is like one of the main, this is one of the main decision points that'll change the course of the game. And depending on what I, like how I feel about it. Okay. I think Econ, even in stage 4, 5, I think it's still very valuable because if you're looking at top 4, you're still going to play at least stage 5 and stage 6, and keeping your Econ at 50 means instead of making 5 gold, you're making 10 gold. You're making double the amount of gold each turn versus a person who has, you know, zeroed out trying to find like their 3-star 3 cost or their 4-star, their 4 cost carry. I don't know. Still no eco, but I think we can just stay above 50.
And it's red.
It's red. I'll fill it. Okay, another disco board. So there's at least 2 people playing disco. I feel like if I try to play disco, there was a good chance that I would have just not found any Twisted Fates. And the one thing I've learned about playing disco is you can easily use your AP items and put them onto a Karthus and then play sort of like a Pentakill Akali board. Especially with this Infinity Edge, I feel like we could have definitely played into Pentakill Akali. We tried to go to level 8 and roll for it, but we rerolled, so. Okay. Not making this Gnar because we are thinking about 3-starring the Echo. I think making this Gnar might have maybe not won us the, I could have won us the fight. Extra HP and the extra damage might have been the difference there. We just don't buy him. We get the Nico finally. Get 5 KD in, and I think we're looking to go level 8 now. I have a feeling we still roll above 50 here. I think that's a mistake in this spot. Rather, there are different pros for each, for either going to 8 or staying at 7. I think going to 8 is by far more stronger because you improve your board by having 1 extra unit, and your odds for level for 3 costs don't get that much worse. We're already done like rolling for 2 costs already, so we get a random Alawi. Oh, what the heck? We do just level and put her in. Yeah. I have no idea how we would use this stationary support. This is just an awkward like sort of way to use it. Okay, we make Ari items because we haven't found any Akali, so we make our Ari items. Thinking about either Static Shiv or something else. Okay. Echo living for a long time, and Seraphine almost kills them. Nice. Yeah. Staying above 30 here lets us generate more gold. We only have one Ari pair. That is it. And rule of thumb is you want to try and avoid just rolling for one thing unless you're basically about to die. But who knows? Okay, another disco board. Make a static shift, try and make it easier for our magic damage to penetrate. This board has the keeper augment and it is super duper tanky. I think without that keeper augment, Twisted Fate might have died there. Oh, KDA Akali. I'm like, ooh. But you're not selling out of this Seraphine. Finally hit the Ari 2. And we're thinking about 5 Spellweaver instead over this Alawi. Ooh, we find the Echo 3, but we're a little too late. And getting the duplicator off. But all is fine. Looks like we went against this Riven Reroll board who missed their Riven by 1. Okay, so Carousel here. All of these items look fairly like not too good. I guess you can put like Edge of Night onto Ari, make it a little more resilient. Even Shroud's an okay tank item. Red buff, we already have a Morello Namicon, but it's attack speed. And I think Gwinsu's makes the most sense in a Spellweaver comp. Okay, so we skip the Spellweaver. We get true damage. Okay, so I guess we just we make a true damage Ari. That's what I'm guessing. But we have this random Infinity Edge that we just built. Because we've been like trying to expect. Okay, that's 4 true damage. You drop out a Spellweaver though in order to put this Yana in. Oh, we do have the Akali. True damage. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. I remember now. Okay, the thing is you cannot put this Kiana in or else it'll switch her to a true damage Akali and pop off the emblem. But okay. Against a Yone 3 board. It's only their clones, so we win pretty convincingly. Yeah. Like who's the last KDA unit that we're missing, right? Deciding that the Gragas 2, there we go, 2 damage. The Gragas 2 is probably I think an Alawi 1 gives your board more tankiness than a Gragas 2. We'll be honest, but he gives Spellweaver, so for this spot I think his traits are more important. Okay. This Echo 2 is simply, or this Echo 3, he's so tanky. We top 4 this game, okay. Moving into stage 6. Our angle right now looks like we want to try and get this Nico 3 start as well. Maybe we find some items off of this Elder Dragon, and maybe the next carousel. Okay, we get a Rabadons. Oh, we drop out of the Superfan to get the Rabadons. Okay, I like it. We get to replace a 1 cost with a 5 cost. This allows gonna add so much tankiness to our front line compared to that 1 cost. Holy crap. Wait. Let's rewatch that fight again. Oh, it's still Riven 2. But it's a Yone 3. Yone 3, but he has no CC immunity. Okay. So he's just gonna get blasted. Even the two collies. We sell the Alawi. And then we find the Alawi again in this shop. Make 20. How much good we were? We were at 14. Tink tink. In hindsight, selling this Alawi was not the play. I feel, looking back at it now, we could have just sold the two collies. But we were just playing down an item. We just did not have anywhere for this Infinity Edge to go. So I don't know. Okay, we just rolled down our gold. See, okay, we finally do hit her. We drop out of the Alawi. I think that's a mistake. Or at least if we were gonna drop out of the Alawi, we should at least replace this Lilia since we're no longer playing super fans and we're still gonna be at 5 KDA effectively. Okay. Keepers providing tons of tankiness for this Disco TF. Level 10, super capped. Okay. We live with the 1 HP. And this final fight's probably going to decide it all. There's this Jax reroll player. Okay, I'm thinking about like the positioning and stuff. I think there's a Lux to position against. I'm gonna play this fight in 1x speed. I remember running this game. No, it was a really interesting final board that we fought. With EDM as our final opponent. Sort of like a alternative line towards playing Disco. Really good at sniping against backline, but in terms of trying to deal against sort of like bruisers, it'd struggle a lot. Yeah. Lux Beam finally catches our last damage dealer on this team. And we end up going a 4th by 1 HP. Dang. Yeah. And then I woke up. So I didn't play that game perfectly. There's a lot of mistakes and a lot of decisions that I don't know the answer to myself. Only more experience can tell. But definitely, I'd say the main points is 1, not slamming this Nash's Tooth in the very beginning. Nash's Tooth on Seraphine or just any AP carry with a Shojin. There's a lot of synergy there. You are not unhappy to have it. Plus, we had this stationary support that gave us extra tankiness. So having a tank item early wasn't that necessary. And, let me look. I guess another let's see. Maybe that one. So basically, stage 1, if you have at least one upgrade besides your headliner, and you have a good item to slam, just do it. That would have saved me an extra HP in the early game. That would have given us a 3rd instead of a 4th. So that's mainly it. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm gonna be doing a little more of these VOD reviews again shortly. Please excuse my sort of like stop and go chatter. I think my mouth definitely has not caught up to my brain yet, but there's just a lot of different lines that you can try and go through for sure, and it's very easy to get dizzy this patch in this set in general. But yeah, you know, if you're a player who's trying to get the diamond, trying to get the masters, and you're just having some trouble, you're hitting a brick wall, hopefully I can help you out by sort of pointing out my own mistakes and sort of like be like a sort of like a uh what's the word? I'm rambling. I'm rambling. Basically TLDR. I hope you can learn along with me, and I hope we can both enjoy TFT together. Yeah. So my first ever VOD review of my own game. Hopefully down the line, I'll be able to look at these videos and see that it's just like the commentary gets better. But yeah. Okay. Well, I'll catch you guys later. Doodle doo. Bye bye.